Hey everybody, welcome to the Prosperity and Health Alliance. I'm here with Mr. Seehaw Top, Creel Hutchinson, of course, you know me, Wade T. Lightheart. And the bottom line is, convention! Woo! We have got convention. I know a lot of people are on there, have got their tickets. If you haven't, beg, borrow, steal, do whatever you got to do. You got to go, be there. And we're going to talk a little bit tonight, not just about convention, which we are going to talk about. We have some very, very, very important announcements about convention that you need to know. But more importantly, we've got to talk about why events. You know, why do we go to events? Why do we have events? What's the point of events? And then how to have a great event, how to maximize the effectiveness of it, how to go into the event, you know, not just as, hey, I'm going to the event, like, what's happening? Go with the purpose. Go to see people and to be seen. Go to make connection, to make a name for yourself, to get connected with the movers and shakers in the business and identify yourself as one of those people, because as you move through this business, and you might go the first time, it's only you. And I've been there. I've been the guy it's only me at the event. There's nobody else, right? And the thing is you got to keep going. Eric Worre talks about it. One of his mentors said, hey, you know what? You know the secret of building a great organization? Keep coming back to the events. He's like, what do you mean? He goes, well, if you come back to one event, half the people won't be there. If you come back to the next event, half the people that were at the last event won't be there. And you keep going till eventually you're at the front of the room. It's your event. And then when you get to that, then you want to get to the back of the room as your team starts having events. So that's another thing why you need to start hosting events. And let me tell you something about events. The more that you participate and engage and get activated in an event, the better it becomes, the more momentum it builds, and it translates over into your business. And Danny D. McCauley, of course, he does the Kangen One info calls, and he talks about this all the time. For every person you bring to this event, this Enagic Global Convention, you can plan on 100 more people being in your downline when the thing comes down next year. And I can tell you, he's right. He's absolutely 100% right. I don't know why the numbers are that way. They are that way. Eric talks about it. Danny talks about it. All the guys that go on the stage, all the $1 million earners, that's what they do. They do events. And now I'm going to turn it over to my partners in love and compassion and joy. Seehaw, Creel, talk about events. I am jacked. I'm getting on a plane. I'm going a week early.
Let's go.
I'm going a week early.
Right now.
Yeah,
Let's go right now. Why wait?
All right, guys. Let's go.
Plugged in there. Hey, everybody. So starting with events, 10 years ago when I got involved with network marketing, it became really obvious that the reason that most people are able to make a big decision around really figuring out what this is they attend the event and they hear it besides the person from their sponsor. You know, if you're only hearing the story from one person and that the product's really good, the business is really good, it's doing this, maybe they come out to a small team event, maybe they get exposed to, 5 to 20 people. But when you come to a large event, whether that be like 100 people, like a regional event, which we'll have coming up here in September, or something larger like the global convention, or you go to an Eric Worre, like massive thousands and thousands of people, there is something that gets triggered in people that we can't actually figure out when we're having that one-on-one conversation. And so for me, what lit me up years ago was I saw an opportunity and I said, I can do this. If these people can do it, I can do this. I'm looking around the room, people are like having a great lifestyle, making lots of great money, and I identified that, hey, you know what, there's nothing separating where I am from this person except for the mindset. And something lit up inside of me and I went for it at that point. And consistently, I have found the easiest way I have grown my business is bring people out to events. The work is getting people to the event. The event takes care of everything else. And then you just track them after the event. So all my new people or people that are looking at getting involved right now, I'm saying, hey, just come out to the event. No, don't put your order in yet. Just wait on that. Why don't you come to the event, see what this is so that you can make a big decision, so that you can actually come in at a full professional level. And consistently, I've just seen the events will drive my business faster than anything else. Now, at the same side, if I don't take people to events, and I watch other people's teams go to events, I'm seeing that they will dominate the marketplace and they will grow faster than me. And I'll sit there, and I've been to lots of events where it's been me and maybe a few other people, and I'm sitting there being like, wow, what if I had brought 10 people myself and my downline 10 people? It's the easiest way to generate momentum in this business rather than having to do the one-on-one meetings, prospecting yourself. Get a couple key people, make sure they're at the convention, get them to bring a couple key people, and from there, there's a big momentum that can happen. The secret is out in network marketing. It's just like, you want to grow a team the fastest way, bring as many people to the largest event that the company hosts every year, and then I would also include to the GoPro event, because that's where people are going to get really professionally well trained. Events make your business. So, why events? Because it pays better than anything else. And I will hear sometimes people complain about, oh, it's going to cost me $1,000. I'm like, hey, do you want to make $100,000, but you're complaining about spending $1,000 to get to an event that will change your life? And if you don't go, I can guarantee you no one in your downline will go. Right? And that's why I continuously go. And I've heard some people say, well, I've already seen it, I've already been there. And I'm like, hey, you don't go necessarily for yourself, you go for your team. You go for the new person. You introduce them to everybody. You be a host with the mostest at Enagic, introducing your person to all the big wigs so that they feel really well taken care of, because you never know what word or what sentence or what introduction or what moment during the event that there's going to be something that's going to really light that person up and make them click on the inside, that all of a sudden it goes from you telling your Enagic story and how great it's been for you, and this could be for them as well. Now they see it for themselves, and there's a spark that happens that will drive their business forward. Right? And I've seen it consistently over and over again. I had a friend of ours, Savannah, in my business, attend the event last year. First big event with Enagic. Her business was okay. 6 months to 8 months after the event, she crushed it. And her upline, Rishak, her father, also, they took off, but I just saw that one event for one individual and how something lit up, that you saw the bigger picture. It's a global opportunity. It's not a East Vancouver, it's not a Surrey, it's not a Bellingham opportunity. It's a global opportunity. And all of a sudden, the caliber of where we were pitching the dream at all of a sudden went way up. And that's possible, and it's possible at global events. Regional events will do something on a scale, but when you get to the global opportunity, so why events? Man, they pay better than everything else. So there's a week to go before, and I'm still hustling, trying to get a couple more people on board. There's tickets still out there. We all know that. So if you're committed, you're already going, you might as well still be hungry and try to bring another person. So I'm going to throw it over to Siha. Siha, you want to jump in on the call and kind of share your 2 bits of like why events have been business and for the team moving forward. Siha, are you there?
We might have lost him. We might have lost his internet connection, so we'll kind of move on forward. I want to talk a little bit about while we're waiting for Siha to get back in on the digital universe. I'm going to talk about 2 very particular things that happened in both our businesses, and I'm going to share one from my own perspective. Is when I first got started, and my upline just like hammered me to get to an event in Newport Beach, for this thing. And I don't know, I was like, and he said, you know what, I'm going to pay for your ticket. He even flew me down to the event because he was really wanted to put something on. And I can remember standing outside. There was the meet and greet. And at this event, at the meet and greet, I was standing in line up to this guy. I thought, oh, he's kind of an interesting guy. We started chatting. Turns out that was Horst Filzer, the Harvard medical surgeon. We ended up being friends. I had no idea who he was, right? And right off that bat. And then I got in, shortly afterwards, we were at another event, or we were at the same event, and there was a guy that introduced me to Danny D. McCauley. And then there was someone that introduced me to Cynthia and to Ron. I didn't even know who these people were, but we exchanged numbers and got phone things, and all of a sudden, I knew all the top people. They're just people, but what that lends to you for credibility, some of the things that they're able to implement. You can send people to an event that they might be hosting and say, hey, yeah, by the way, just tell them it's coming from your name and that's that person. If you've got a relationship with that person, it's extremely powerful because then that person can re-edify you coming back in. The second big event that I found was really powerful is when we were early on in the business, one of my distributors who was working with Creel or working on Creel to get him part of our project, because Creel, as he does, was doing deep levels of investigation and what's going on and how this is going to work, et cetera, because that's the kind of guy. He's very, very thorough in checking out what we had. A distributor in my organization was kind of romancing Creel to join this thing, and Creel had a million questions. He's very thorough. He was going through the whole process. He wanted to know this. And what happened is we brought him out to one of these events. And the host of the event, it was like one of the big wigs, he actually, came over and spent time and answered all of Creel's questions. I was saying he was grilling him like, a barbecue champion. Well, I was just sitting there listening and taking notes because he was talking about things I didn't know. He was laying out a game plan that I had no concept of. I was relatively new in the business, didn't know what's going on. He was able to answer questions at a level of confidence level and really lay out things. And that's one of the advantages that you get at these events. You get that story. You also get the experience. So maybe if that person's not that confident that you maybe can take them to the promised land or the series is set, you can put them in contact as well. And going over to Siha, when Siha was looking at this business, he had a lot of other opportunities in his life. These things he was really examining of where he was going to go. I brought that same person in to have a chat with Siha, and he was able to lay out the things and present things with confidence that I simply wasn't able to do. And that's one of the powers of actually getting into these events, pressing the flesh, getting connected with the tribe, and having an experience that when you come back from, now you have a story to talk about. You can talk about the thousands of people in Vegas. You can talk about, the event at the Sky Bar. You can talk about how all the fun was happening, and they're really excited about it. So Siha, tell me more about, convention, events. What does it mean to you and your team?
Conventions and thanks guys. The convention events, what it means to me is getting the secrets. Really, I go there and I really try to get the secrets. When I was just recently in Hawaii, what did I went and I met Ray, who went 6A in 2 days, and I got the full scoop from Ray. I wouldn't have known that if I wouldn't have went to that event. So what's the secret? Well, he went out there and he found 34 generals in a sense, or 34 people that were able to build a business with the trifecta. So that inspired me to go and do that for the team, for myself, and then teach that to the team and share that with the team that, look, we can go 6A in 2 days if we can find the 34 generals like Ray. Last October, when Creel, myself, and Wade were in Hawaii, we met a gentleman by the name of Joyko. And Joyko was only like 2.5 years into the business. He was a 6A 9-3 at that time. I could imagine where he is right now, but again, talking to Joyko and trying to, when I met him, I've been doing this for 8 years, and I'm like, Joyko, what are you doing? How are you teaching your people? And what are you saying? Because we're teaching our teams a lot of things. Well, here's what Joyko says. He says, Siha, when people ask me, how does this water work, or how does this, what does this water do to the body, and how do I benefit? You know what his answer is? He says, I don't know. So that's what he teaches his team. He just teaches his team to say, I don't know, try the water. This is what happened to my family when they tried it. They got these benefits. Maybe you'll get that benefit. Well, how does it work? I don't know. Come over to my sink and get some fresh Kangen water. So then, again, I'm going to get secrets from these top leaders. Sitting in the room with Cynthia Vigante, a 7-figure earner in the business, and Romy Verdera, 7-figure earners in the business, asking them their secrets. What is it that they did? How did they build their business? How did they get to where they were going? You know what? I learned from each individual. I learned something different all the time. Cynthia starts her days with a prayer. You know, before she goes in and talks to somebody, she's already thanked God for putting that person in front of her and buying the machine. Look, that works for Cynthia. You know what? I'm trying it. I'm trying it as well too, and it seems to be working for myself as well too. Just saying thank you for the opportunity, so that I can share this amazing product with this person, so I can share this amazing opportunity with this person. So again, I learned that from Cynthia, from Romy Verdera. You know, Romy has got a lot of years in the network marketing business, and so you know, I said, Romy, you know, what makes us different than other companies? And what comes to mind, Romy says, you know what, see how we have a product and we have a company that, bar none, nobody else has, and people have to just, you know, have to listen to what we have. And if you can get them to listen a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, Romy says, you know what, they're going to sign on. And if you show them that, you know, that this is what their future can be like, you know, big house, big cars, whatever it is that you think that can connect with that person, they're going to sign on with you as well. So I go, like Wade was asking me, you know, why do I go? I go for the secrets, and I'm sharing with our teams to do the same thing. When I'm sharing on stage and I'm talking to our teams and the Enagic family, and I'm asking, I share with everybody, you know what, you should go and you should speak to every 6A leader that you know of at these conventions, at these Super Saturdays or training events. Go talk to them, because everyone is different. Go talk to and ask them, how did they get there, and ask them, you know, what would they do differently, or what would they do more of, and write it down, or, you know, take notes on that, or put that in the back of your mind, because every single one, I believe, has a different story of how they got to 6A. Every single one has an idea of how they would do it differently, or what they would do more of, including myself. You know, so you know, we're not all the same. We do things differently. We know what we want to have. We know what we want to try and get to. So it's out there. Go to these events to learn. I go there and I get so inspired, and I know that our team does as well. We've gone to whether it be the Super Saturday or the Eric Worre events. You know, some of my biggest and largest teams in my organization, they've gone to these events. Like Eric Worre, and they'd come back putting on their own events, or going to the Super Saturday, and they get inspired to put on their own events. Well, you look at the leaders that did put on their own events, and you can see that their business have exploded exponentially. They're the top leaders, and it seems like, you know what, they're the ones that want to drive their business. They're the one that wants to train. Right now, I've got leaders from other from our Enagic family that are calling me up and that want to do their own events here in the Seattle area and in Vancouver, BC. And you know what? I'm helping them, because it's their turn to do events. We've put events together. We will continue to put events, but the more events that's put on by our Enagic family, and the more that we get our teams to go and see the different leadership and see the different trainings, you know what? It's all good, because you don't know when they're going to, your teams or myself, you don't know what information that it's going to connect with us at that moment. And when it does, that's when you make $1 million. That's your paradigm shift. That's your why. That's your, you know, we go to these events to learn. So I you know, I don't know what my boys are, but I wanted to share that with you guys, and let you guys know that get your people to the events, because the events are going to be huge for your organization. Back to you guys.
Hey, that's some great stuff, Siha. So you had a couple gold nuggets there, and I think, and this is kind of really, really important when you get to the event, is how do you step up your event time and make the most out of your event. And you said something there is connecting with people and talking with people. And what I'm going to share with you is you want to ask questions as opposed to tell stories. What I mean is, when you get to the event, it's not about you saying, hey, I'm going to blow this up, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, or, you know, blah, blah, blah. No, drop that and go in and start asking questions of the people who are going to tell you how they did it. And that's a really, really key component, CHOB, because it can be really great. The other thing is, there's a balance. So sometimes, depending on where you are in your organization, there are going to be people in your organization who are going to come to you and they're going to want advice, or they're going to want training, or they want to go to the next level. And I'm going to steal a powerful move from Eli DeFesh's playbook, and that is he introduces them to the person that he thinks can help that person. He doesn't answer the question. He is constant, and I went early on and I watched him, and what he did is he just moved and he says, hey, you know what, wait, look, there's this is Mary Smith, and she's amazing, and she's got a health clinic like this. I need to put you guys together. And he put together, and then he's gone, right? And that's very, very powerful. The other thing is, be seen with the people that are on stage. Get your pictures taken with them. The people that are hosting the webinars, the Michelle Rayleighs and the Eli's and the, you know, and the Danny D. McCauley's and the people that are going to be on stage at the event, go meet them. Get a picture with them. Put it on your Facebook. Ask them some stuff if you get a chance. They say, you know what, I want to be really respectful of your time. You know, I really appreciate what you're doing here. Can I, you know, what's a couple secrets that you know? What and find out something and do something nice for them if you can. Be of service. Make them remember you, because you never know where that's going to come out down the line. Believe me, if you stick around on that, everybody that's gone to the stage, they're looking for the next group to come up. This thing is coming over. So imagine yourself. One of the things that I did when I go to events is I see myself on that stage. I imagine myself on that stage with my group. And then I imagine, and the next level of that is as I imagine sitting in the back watching team member after team member after team member getting big bonus checks, getting their medals and awards, getting their trophies, getting that stuff. I can't wait to see all my team members go across the stage, because that means that they're going to teach that to their people and their people and their people. So try and keep those in mind and have that. And you know, it's really easy to kind of stick in your room after the events and not do anything and not go anywhere and all that sort of stuff. Step it up. Put your game on. I don't care what you got to do. Drink coffee at 7 o'clock at night. Do it. You know, stand in front of the mirror and do the Tony Robbins, psych yourself up. Do it. Go that extra mile. Make the event. Get into it and go the extra mile. You will not be disappointed if you do. What you don't want to do, show up, sit there, complain, and go home. It's long days. Okay, it's long days. Not everybody that's speaking you're going to like. Some people are going to suck. There's going to be some things that are going to go wrong. You might have 15 people in a hotel room and somebody's got bad gas. These things happen, but I'll tell you what, years later, you're going to remember the events that had the crappy things than the ones that were all good. It's the crappy stories and the going through the challenges together that creates bonds and creates brotherhood and sisterhood and social connection. Not the high points, it's who's with you when the bullets are flying. Who's with you when you're sticking like toothpicks in your eyes to try and stay awake because you were up all last night talking to the top two guys. You've had 45 minutes of sleep. You've eaten the worst food ever in your life, and you got to show up. Yeah, it's tough. Do it, and you'll see. You'll see. Guys, any other points that you want to bring up about the events? We're going to talk a little bit before we talk about the other events coming up as well.
Yeah, I do, and I got this. I got this from you, Wade, and that is, you know, when we're there at the events, connect with your teams and and try to round everybody up where you're all going to lunch. You know, when we're in Las Vegas, some of my best favorite memories is all of us going to Whole Foods. You know, here's you know, Prosperity Health Alliance team. You know, we pack the Whole Foods. So, and then that's during lunchtime. And then afterwards, you know, there's always some get together somewhere. You know, let's connect. And I know that you're going to put something together, and we're all going to connect afterwards. After the events in the evening or during lunch and in the evening are just as important, you know, for our teams. You know, going out to lunch with all you guys, you know, where we go. That's some of my best memories. Cramming the cars, going back and forth 2 or 3 times, to pick up the whole team and taking up half the restaurants, right? That's brotherhood. That's what we have to do when we go to these events. Take care of each other, walk with each other, lock arms with each other. And other teams are going to look and go, man, why can't I be on that team? Why can't our team love like that? You know what? So to me, that's really a huge highlight for our teams, PH Health Alliance. When we do that, we're helping each other out. Like I said, the last time we were in Las Vegas, Cruel had just a little mini car. We just packed it in there. Somehow, somewhere, we just squeezed more people. I'm used to it. I'm Cambodian. We just packed everybody in there, right, Phil? We got everybody to where they needed to go. So to me, that's really memorable. Like Wade said, it could be the worst, it could be the best, but the time with our teams, the time just rubbing elbows and smelling everybody sweat in the car, that's it for me. I love that.
That's awesome, Sia. I got a couple other little tidbits. These are more so for distributors that have already been in for a little while. As you stay longer in this business, you're going to start to do international business, and everywhere operates a little bit differently. So what I have found is really valuable to put a face to the manager of the office in the area that you're going to do business in, so that whether that be Hawaii, India, Australia, Singapore, Hong Kong. So one of my game plans is I've got 3 or 4 managers that I need to get some FaceTime with. I need to pave the road so that I can get their email and say, hey, remember that convention? Hey, I need this to happen. So I would say definitely look out for that. Go talk to the managers that you need to. If you've got a guest there, make sure Wade gave some golden nuggets. Get them in front of the people that will be the game changer for them, right? Just imagine, what does this person need to know or need to see or hear that's going to throw them over the next top? And bring a bunch of business cards, share it. It's a great opportunity to meet a lot of distributors. So they may not be in your team, but you can create, if they're definitely senior to you, ask them how they got there. But getting their business cards allows you in the future to do water trials in locations with people that the longer you stay in it, all of a sudden someone in Pennsylvania needs a water trial, and then you met, Sammy and Glenda from Pennsylvania in 2016, and you got their card and you can access that. So really valuable. And then we're going to plan something on Saturday night. Everybody's going to call Wade.
Find Wade. That is going to be, you don't know where I'm going to be, but I will be there somewhere.
We are planning.
Yeah.
We'd love to do, because Thursdays there's going to be a big dinner, I believe. That's usually the style. So on Wednesday evening, it's kind of more open to a smaller team event, or at least a picture. So kind of stay tuned. I recommend everybody get on WhatsApp app. That's a really great way to stay in contact with people that aren't carrying international, texting and stuff. There'll be Wi-Fi throughout the hotel. So look for something for dinner and a photo on Wednesday night. Probably the agenda finishes around 5 or 6 o'clock, so shortly after that would be a great time. And have a great time, party lots, but also don't party too much, because getting a little bit messy in Las Vegas and getting carried away with that can lead to a disastrous morning, and it's not professional. So that's my tidbit, because I've seen over the years, it can go sideways having too good a time, if you know what I mean.
Stop looking at
Yeah. So we keep it on track, because you'll get the most out of your event that way. So with that, I'm going to throw it back to Wade for some closing comments here, I guess.
So great stuff, guys. I'm really excited. For those of you who haven't been to, get to the event. You can. There's still time. There's still tickets. Believe me, they will not turn you away. And I'll street fight the doorman if necessary. If you can't get a ticket, just get a flight there. So the bottom line, that'll be great. Next thing, we are going to have a team picture. So, for example, the Prosperity Health Alliance, we'd like to have a new team picture with the more team members than we did in the first one, because you got to be at the event to be in the picture. That's the deal, guys. You're in an event, you can't be in the picture. But if you're at the event and want to be in the picture, we really want to do that. That's really, really important. We'll probably do it on that Wednesday night, I would suspect. The other thing is, we're in Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas, pretty much always on the lunch breaks. If for some reason you miss us, we'll be going to Whole Foods. I got to share with you, one of the greatest experiences I ever had was actually a big event last year. And I had kind of flown in at the last minute. I didn't have no time to get, like, it was chaos, you know, and I was like, you know, I didn't have time to organize a team. I went to Whole Foods, and I walk into Whole Foods, and there's literally the entire salad bar, the whole area, all the seating was gone, everything, the entire team was at Whole Foods, and I had zero, nothing, nada to do with it. And when I went to the first events, I was going to the Whole Foods by myself. Nobody at the event was into the health stuff. Nobody was into that. They were into the water. They were eating the stuff at the rest. Nobody. And, you know, I took a person, like I would take one person to Whole Foods. And then the next time I'd take 3 people to Whole Foods. And then there'd be a couple other people. And over the course of all the years, now we own Whole Foods. Like, you know, we're practically shareholders. My team is shareholders. Our team is shareholders. It's really, really great. Not it's all about Whole Foods or not about that. What I'm just trying to share is the point of having an opportunity to sit down at the event, break bread, so to speak, the tradition of humanity throughout all time, where you can sit down, look at someone in the eye, ask them how they're doing, what's the feedback of the event. Because what happens is I need your feedback, because what happens is a lot of the top people are going to ask me, what was the feedback from your team? And I need to hear that stuff from you. I need to hear the good. I need to hear the bad. I need to hear the ugly. If you guys know me, I'm a straight shooter. You got to tell me garbage, hit me with it. You want to tell me good stuff, hit me with it. I'm cool with all that, but I do want to reach out. I want to meet you. I want to give you a hug. I want to hear what your challenges are. I want to hear what your triumphs are. I want to hear where you're going to do it, your next event, or what you guys are planning, or where we can help you, wherever you are, because the team's all over the world now. I mean, it's everywhere. It's, you know, I can't keep up with it. It's growing out of control, and I want you to have that same experience. And I want to meet you because we care about you. We love you. And, you know, I don't take this for granted. This is an amazing run. This is the one. This is the thing that is being part of something that's really special. It's part of a global movement. It's part of something that is good for people's health. It's good for the environment. It's good for the finance. We're a company that's different than every other company. We're different. We just are. You know, and you're part of that. You're part of a movement. You're part of something that's just, you got to get inside it and feel it, not here, in your heart. And I've got such beautiful relationships. I got such amazing friends, both in my team and in other teams, in Enagic as a whole. It's one of the richest experiences I've ever had in my life. It's really, really something. And if you can connect into the magic, the real magic of the event, you'll get to understand what I say. And believe me, 5, 10, 15 years from now, when you've got big teams coming to the events and you're hosting your own events, and you know everything's so crazy in your world, we see each other maybe once or twice a year because of this, you're going to remember this. You're going to remember when you were the lone wolf. You're going to remember when you were scraping together all your cents to get there, and you were hoping a check was going to come in before you left so that you could get the taxi out. You're going to remember those things, and they're real, and they're happening, and it's the struggle that you got to honor. It's the struggle and the challenge. The person that pays the highest price to go gets the most of the event. And what I mean by the price, how difficult it is to pay for that ticket, how difficult it is to get that flight, how difficult it is to maybe reach out and talk to someone that you're uncomfortable with. Those are the experiences where you grow. Those are the experiences where you move into that next level. If you want to have that income, if you want to have that lifestyle, if you want to buy back your time, those are the challenges that you have to overcome. Everybody comes into this business at a different level, but everybody comes into this business as an equal. It's an equal deal for everybody, from the top guy on the stage to the guy that just bought a machine the day of. Everybody, it's a truly level playing field. And each one of us has our own challenges to go through. Each one of us has to dig down and go beyond the story that's held us back. Each one of us has to develop the skills, the ability, the mental and physical and emotional toughness to take your business to the next level. That's the kind of thing that you get from an event. It's the intangibles. It's the connection that you have, that you're part of something. And that anchors something into us that you cannot get on a computer, you cannot get on a cell phone, you cannot get in a TV program, you cannot get in a movie, you cannot download it, you cannot buy it at Best Buy, you cannot pick it up at the grocery store, you cannot grow it in a garden, you can't get it anywhere. This is the only place. The question is, do you care about your life? Do you care about your future? Do you want to buy back your time bad enough that you're willing to do whatever it takes? And if you are, it's a rocket ride. And if you're not, you will sit on the ground with the smoke coming out of the things, but you're not going to get enough juice to get up. The hardest part of a launch, you talk to NASA scientists, and in fact, I have a friend who's a NASA scientist. Okay, he's a buddy of mine. Don't ask me how that happened. But anyways, the hardest part of that rocket, the most energy, is to get it the first inch. That's it. And you're going to have to put on the jets, the rocket fuel, the 3 stages. And when that rocket takes off, stages are falling off. People are going to fall off. People are going to say they're going to go and not. People are going to go and get too smashed and forget the event. These are just stages of the rocket coming off, man. But if you do it, you're going to space. And the view is amazing. I can't wait to see you there.
Agreed.
Well said, buddy. That's awesome. That's so cool. I can't wait to see you all there. Las Vegas it is.
Viva Las Vegas. Hey guys, we'll talk, and by the way, we'll talk about the September events as well. Quick note, September 10th or 11th, we're just TD on that weekend, book it. We're having an event. Eric Warwick, December 1st, mark that on your calendar. 1st, right? I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
First week of December. That's another event we're going to be at. January, what was the dates in January, Creel? Do you remember? Do you have them here?
I don't have it here. Right. Let's see.
I think it's second week in January.
While Creel's looking for that, October 15th for sure in Bellevue, Washington. I know Tamia Cologne's coming, Romy Verdera. You don't want to miss that one. That's October 15th. So September, October, December, January. It's nicely spread out for our teams all over the map.
We were thinking January 15th, Vancouver.
Yes. So these are the events. If you, for whatever reason, you're missing a convention, find a way to go and then plan for these events, because you're going to start building these events for the next year. When you come out of a convention, you are going to be so fired up for the next event and to bring teams. And we're going to carry that momentum into September and October and November and December and January. And we're all going to explode. And we're all going to change the world. And we're all going to make a ton of money. And we're all going to have a lot of fun. But only if you're willing to pay the price. So pay the price. It's worth it.
Yeah, see you guys in convention.
GH Alliance.
Hi, everybody.
Get in the photo. See you there.
See you there,
Night,
guys.
everybody.
Good night, good night, good night.
Love you all.